Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome back to MCubed. Today is Monday, Movie News Monday, of course, and we're going to be talking some of the news that's come out the past weekend and this morning, essentially, for film, news, TV, etc., etc. We are going to be going over how Twitter has become X now, how George R. Martin has suspended his HBO deal, just mostly because of the strikes, but he has suspended his HBO deal, so that could have some implications for House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones, spin-offs, etc. in the future. Transformers Rise of the Beast is airing on Paramount Plus tomorrow already. And then AMC Entertainment is running out of cash at the moment. Barbenheimer is the fourth biggest box office opening in history. Amazon Prime has shown us the new trailer for Gen V and Invincible Season 2. And then, I don't know too much about these, so we'll dive in just a little bit. But the Streamy Award nominations have come out, and this is one that I've known about, but haven't really delved into, haven't ever really watched or anything. So now that we're streaming so often, I might have to pay a little bit of attention. But without further ado, let's roll that intro. I love that thing so much. All right. Let's dive in for today. I'm all countryed up. Not really. I'm just been doing yard work and stuff like that. So I look how I look when I'm doing yard work. But anyways, I think I kind of want to save the Twitter becomes X for a little bit later. Let's talk about some of this movie stuff going on. I will cover a little bit about Barbenheimer, and we'll talk about how it's the fourth biggest opening in box office history. But because Movie Tuesdays are the days we tend to go over box office and stuff like that, we will delve further into that discussion tomorrow and talk about how it could play into the way the box office will continue to work. Both because, the box office has not been looking great lately, but if it's just got its fourth biggest opening ever, it's not dead. It's nowhere near dead. And that could have been some vitalization in general that both not just the box office but the film industry itself needed. So that will be a fun little conversation a little bit. But let's start off with the simple stuff. Let's say I don't have much to say besides, damn, Transformers is already going to streaming. I think I saw this movie less than 2 months ago. It hasn't been out 2 months. There's no way it has. I know Barbie in its opening weekend made more than Transformers Rise of the Beast has in its entirety at the moment. I think Transformers Rise of the Beast, you could technically, I have no numbers in front of me, so I'm just kind of saying things, but I believe it would technically be classified as a flop alongside half a dozen other things in recent memory, like Fast and Furious 10/X, whatever you want to call it. All these X's, they keep coming up. It's interesting. And The Flash, Shazam, Ant-Man Quantumania, all these different things. They just haven't made that much money. And honestly, I think Guardians wasn't a flop, but it's almost a flop in the Marvel sense of the word. Lately, of course, it is the best thing they've done monetarily. Besides Black Panther 2, I think that might have made a little bit more money, but they haven't been making all that much money recently anyways. Yeah, so Paramount Plus on July 25th of 2023 will have Transformers Rise of the Beast, the second Transformers now, because it's the new series of Transformers, and slash G.I. Joe a bit. A little spoiler for that, but just a slash G.I. Joe. I would like to see, because I do really like the Michael Bay stuff. I am a fan of Michael Bay's Transformers. The first three, really the first two, mainly the first one, but I do like the first three just as popcorn flicks, and the fourth and the fifth. Is there a sixth? Were there 3 Wahlbergs? Or were there 2 Wahlbergs? There was Wahlberg with a daughter, and then there was Wahlberg with Anthony Hopkins, right? I think there was just 2. I believe there was just 2. And I like those all right. They're fun. They are popcorn flicks, and they are fun, big budgeted blockbuster. Just turn your brain off and just have a good time. But there's so much more that can be done with Transformers. I believe those stories can be legitimately good, and Bumblebee showed that. Rise of the Beast, furthered that to a degree. It wasn't as good as Bumblebee. It didn't make as much sense. It narratively made sense, but it didn't really focus on trying to make the narrative make sense. And it was kind of like big bombastic action like you kind of want from a Transformers film. But I really appreciated Bumblebee taking that narrative a little more seriously and honing in on it. I'd like to see them do that further with this Transformers series, especially if G.I. Joe's included. I think you have to do that. Just add that human element into things. If you're going to add that human element into things. I guess we'll talk a little spoilers for it. I'll put this up just briefly. Spoilers for Rise of the Beast, of course. The very end of it includes Anthony Ramos's character essentially in a freaking Iron Man suit, and I don't dislike it. It made sense for the story at hand and the scenes to end the film, or just, finalize that third act, that climatic battle there. I don't want to see them do that again. We saw that with, I guess, G.I. Joe and Channing Tatum, and who the hell was that? Damon Wayans playing that? Who was the friend in that? I think it was Damon Wayans. That's just the person off the top of my head. I don't remember. Yeah, I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, I don't know. I don't dislike the G.I. Joe Iron Man suit idea. I would like them to go into the military spy aspect of it a little bit more before jumping into the sci-fi aspect of it. There's always sci-fi with G.I. Joe, but, I'd like a little bit of a stepping stone. That would be nice. Just before I start randomly talking about G.I. Joe and Transformers the whole day, we can always come back to it. Let's go ahead and... Oh, good. Okay, I thought I just deleted that on accident. I was like, no. We're good. We went back to the right little banner down there. So, of course, if there's anything y'all want to talk about, because I don't have the most extensive list of things. It's not the heaviest news day, of course. So if there is anything, grammatically, that y'all would like to talk about, let me know in the comments, and we will cover those. See, we got a couple people here, so that's always fun. Howdy. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, let's keep going, though. George R.R. Martin has suspended his deal with HBO. Good and bad. He's done it mostly for the strikes and to support the strikes. He is a WGA member, so a Writers Guild of America member, so he is technically striking. So he is completely supporting the strikes and such, and that is what it is. That's why he suspended his deal. It was supposed to last until 2026, though, so there's a little, like 2.5+ years left of it kind of deal. We're not entirely sure what that's going to look like with him and House of the Dragon Season 2 filming. That means he's not really he can't go rewrite or do anything like that for House of the Dragon. That means everything is off the table for him. Warner Brothers, HBO, Game of Thrones, world-wise. The only place he can play in his little sandbox at the moment would be the theater stage. And he has a stage play called The Iron Throne, I believe is what it's called. Or something along those lines. I did not bring this article up, and I don't have it ready to put up anywhere. But I believe that is what the stage play is called. And, I just produced a play myself. Oh, I got to tuck all this hair behind that ear now. It's not easy. And to do it while people are not inclined to necessarily want to go to the theater anymore. Not like movie theaters are hard enough. Not entirely, because fourth largest box office weekend this weekend, of course. But like a theater for a play, you don't see people going to them as much anymore, which is very sad. I wish they would. I think a Game of Thrones play is a good way to probably do some of that, especially if it's a large scale, if it's grandiose in scale, and you have a lot of actors doing a lot of cool things. I mean, you can reuse a bunch of actors, too. I'm thinking about the most economic ways to do so mentally, I just go straight to producer's mode. Yeah, I don't think this is really going to affect that much, honestly. I think they probably have what... I doubt that whatever. I doubt that Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon is the most improvisational type of set ever. So you really probably are sticking to your script first and foremost for everything, which makes perfect sense. And the things that they may add, it would be more of an actors thing, and that's up to the actors. And because these actors are British actors, and yes, some of them are SAG members, but they're British actors truly, and it's a UK production. They're filming right now. They can act right now. They can do all that. Just no WGA writers on board, which is okay. I think it's okay because they probably have everything written that they need to. And I believe Ryan Condal is the showrunner for season 2, taking over from I should remember that guy's name. But taking over from the showrunner from season 1 of House of the Dragon, who was a big guy for Game of Thrones as well. Big director, of course, not showrunner, because that was D.B. Weiss and David Benioff. Yeah, though, I don't think this is really going to affect any Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, anything. I think it will actually probably speed some things up realistically, because now George R.R. can't work on the shows. He can't work on the possible spinoffs, the possible shows that he's having to look at and he's having to put eyes on. He's having to give opinions. He's having to probably, a writer wants to continue to write. So he's probably given his own opinions and ideas and thoughts for these things. He can't do that right now, which means, yes, he can work on the Iron Throne or whatever that stage play is called and titled, which will be cool, I'm assuming. Of course, assuming can make an ass out of you and me, but I am assuming nonetheless, because GRR, not JRR, GRR, both the double R's are great. I think George R.R. will make a great stage play. The thing I'm excited about is now that his time has been lifted a bit from all the Hollywood aspects of things, maybe this man can finally finish A Song of Ice and Fire, The Winds of Winter, and maybe A Song of Ice and Fire in general, because I believe there's another book after Winds of Winter. I sure as hell hope he's had time to start it, or at least get outlines for it done over the past, the last time we got anything from George R.R. was it A Dance of Dragons? And that was 2012, 2013, 2011, somewhere in that range. Like literally as Game of Thrones, the TV show, was airing, the entire lifespan of Game of Thrones, we did not get another Game of Thrones book, which of course ended up hurting the Game of Thrones show because the last 2 seasons had nothing to base off of. And I do love D.B. Weiss and David Benioff, and I think they're wonderful filmmakers, wonderful people at adapting things, and there was nothing left to adapt anymore. And they kind of had to jump into the sandbox that they had not created and had adapted and then were forced to create inside of. And it just didn't work as well. Still, I think much better than your average TV show on any network, anywhere. I'd watch season 7 and 8 of Game of Thrones over most television any day of the week. But when you have those first 6 seasons that freaking good, you can't give us, you just can't, that just so downhill that quickly was just about traumatizing. Not really, but in the eye of the public, in a way, I was surprised how well House of the Dragon did. I was very happy that it did that well, but I'm okay with it. Let Ryan Condal and House of the Dragon people do that. Let the HBO folk do the HBO, because they've always done well, and I assume that they will continue to do well. And I'm assuming without making an ass out of you and me on that one too, of course, because HBO is just consistent quality all the time. So I expect House of the Dragon season 2 to do just fine. I'm really hopeful that this opens up George R.R.'s time to finish books. He's an author first and foremost, not a screenwriter, not a stage writer, not any kind of these other writers. He is an author, a book writer, has been for a long time. And yeah, he's done a bunch of other stuff over the decades, and that's why he is a stage writer, screenwriter, But first and foremost, the man's an author. So let's get back to authoring books. He also said he was editing. He had edited a few other little books, I think. Maybe, I don't know if they were of his own or someone else's. I'd have to read the article again. And of course, I didn't bring it. I apologize. But I did a decent job of summarizing it off the top of the noggin, huh? Not too shabby. Not too shabby. But all right, shall we continue on? just while I'm thinking streaming. Oh, I'm knocking my pop filter everywhere. There we go. There we go. While we are thinking about streaming and streaming services and things of the sort, because we talked about Transformers: Rise of the Beast hopping on Paramount Plus, and we just talked a little House of the Dragon. Not a whole bunch, but House of the Dragon is a streaming show. It's also cable, but you know what I mean. It fits both worlds pretty damn well. We got 2 new trailers. One, I think we got over the weekend. I think it was like Friday or Saturday that it came out, was the Invincible Season 2 trailer. Or did that might have come out yesterday. It came out over the weekend at some point. But I'm a fan. Let me know your thoughts. I don't know if we have anybody that loves Invincible in the chat at the moment, or anything else on Prime, or any other trailers that are out, because if any of those things that you would like to talk about are there, let me know. But Invincible Season 2, I'm a fan of Invincible Season 1 big time. I loved Robert Kirkman's comic book writing for a long time, and I was just not familiar with Invincible. I wish I were. I have like the first 3, 4, 5 volumes all in one giant, or I think two. I have 2 giant books of Walking Dead comics. I, of course, stopped those at a certain point, stopped the series at a certain point, etc., etc. But I still love the creator's original visions. I think he's an excellent filmmaker now, but writer and author, and Invincible. Everybody that I know that's actually read the comic books are just they say you got to do it, you got to read it, you got to read it, you got to read it. My old roommate from my first year of college was a huge Invincible person, and he is just, every time I bring it up, that dude's like, "What are you doing? You got to read that shit." And I know, I will. I don't know when, but I will. I'm really excited for it. I think it looks great. Of course, there's not as much Omni-Man as I was necessarily expecting. I think that's kind of a cool thing, though, because they're leaving him a little bit more mysterious to a degree. And, nothing's going to stay mysterious in this world. It will, and it won't at the same time. I guess we're in for a ride to see what happens. But the Gen V trailer, the Boys spinoff trailer, I was worried for it. I watched it for the first time this morning, and I thought it was good. I actually enjoyed the trailer. I was not looking forward to watching the trailer because I did not have high expectations. I was like, this is not going to be good. I haven't watched the animated spinoff because I haven't heard anything that great about the animated spinoff for The Boys. Now a college version of, oh, great, who can we put on the 7? I actually like the idea, because it's almost like boarding school meets college meets superheroes. I like the idea, especially with The Boys' gritty take on superheroes. The fact that A-Train's the first character you see on screen. You see, I don't remember her name, red hair lady that is now running VOT. Oh, I don't remember the character's name. She's in the trailer. There's, of course, Homelander's in the trailer for part of it. Queen Maeve was in the trailer for part of it. Obviously, I think those are more previous things. I think A-Train was the only one that we saw, like, actual, like, in of course, I'm doing running motions for A-Train, but we saw him in real time, quote unquote. And I like that they made it intertwined with The Boys. If it weren't, I think the predisposition I had for it would probably be a little more correct and be like, oh, great, this is not going to be good, this childlike version of this. No. It is squarely and it seemingly is squarely fit right into The Boys' world and universe. And I don't think that you can pull back with that now. Now that that's part of that, you can't pull back. Like, of course, you can pull back in animation or do more in animation. But if it were going to be completely separate, not completely separate, in the same world or whatever, but like an actual boarding school somewhere else where maybe A-Train wasn't coming by and Homelander isn't trying to recruit people and the red-haired lady that runs VOT trying to recruit people anymore, then I'd be like, okay, this is a little They wanted to do Wednesday Addams, didn't they? But this ain't that. And I'm very excited for it because of that. I think it actually looks a lot better than what I thought it would, of course. And I'm excited for it. I didn't have high expectations, and now that I've seen the trailer, my expectations have raised. So now I get to hope that the expectations are met, which I think they will be. I trust. I don't know if Eric Kripke's the showrunner for this one as well, but I like Eric Kripke. I'm not a supernatural person. I don't really have an interest in becoming a supernatural person. I like the Supernatural. I just don't like Supernatural as a television show. I don't dislike it, but I do like Eric Kripke, the filmmaker, and all the people that are in the show. I'm just not a big CW person anymore. And just that style, it's just, my brain turns off the second I start thinking about it now. So I can't even really go back and watch CW without just napping half the time. Sorry, y'all, but just how it is, I guess. That being said, though, I'm ecstatic. This is my expectations are high. I hope they are met. I even if they're not met, I expect them to be mostly met. So as long as I'm like a solid 69% happy or above, I was going to say 75%, but 69 just isn't that realm. So I was like, but 69% or above happiness, somewhere in that realm, I will say it was a successful venture. Of course, the quality will assess as it comes out. But that's all I got for a little Transformers and a little George R.R. and a little Amazon Prime. But let's keep moving. I've got one article that I do want to kind of read everything alongside y'all with. Coconut water. I love it. But yeah, let's pull this article up. I'm going to put my face over here on the side. There we are. And share this screen over to, AMC Entertainment is supposedly running out of money, running out of cash. Oh, did I see that Steve Shiv's rant this morning regarding the strikes? Wonder what you would have to say about it. He's a Trekkie with an opinion. Look him up on YouTube and we can talk after. Oh, can I look him up on YouTube without getting copyrighted? I'm going to try not to do all like the trailer viewing and stuff like that we've done. Or I would have just watched Invincible and Gen V with y'all because I keep getting copyright struck for all that kind of stuff. And it's not like demonetization copyright. It's just like it doesn't really truly affect the stream, but I don't want it to have the chance to. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Can I look it up without it screwing me up? If so, hell yeah. If not, we'll be back tomorrow. But howdy, by the way, Laura. I'm glad you're here. Let's jump into this article real quick. There's a lot to digest. So this is the Deadline article by Jill Goldsmith of this morning. And CEO Adam Aron of AMC said a court ruling last week that makes it harder for AMC Entertainment to raise cash has serious implications for the circuit's financial stability. A blowout Barbenheimer weekend in the box office and surging share price notwithstanding. So they will definitely be doing better by the time this article was written, but maybe not necessarily so much that it's going to help or save them. Anyway, AMC must be in a position to raise equity capital. I repeat, to protect AMC's shareholder value over the long term, we must be able to raise equity capital, he wrote in an open letter to shareholders on Twitter, which was just renamed X. We'll get to that. This is especially the case now with the added uncertainty caused by the writers and actors strikes, which could delay the release of movies currently scheduled for 2024 and 2025. As things stand, he said, the risk materially increases of I didn't say that right either way. The risk materially increases of AMC conceivably running out of cash in 2024 or 2025, or of AMC being unable to satisfactorily refinance and stretch out the maturity of some of our debt as it comes due to starting next year. The risk of financial collapse is not whimsical, he warned, noting that the Regal parent Cineworld shareholders were wiped out in that chain's bankruptcy. Yep. The background, AMC's army of vocal retail investors, which saved the chain from Chapter 11 during COVID, have balked at authorizing the company to issue new shares. since that would dilute their holdings. That's why Aaron created APEs, AMC's preferred equity units, which the company could issue and sell instead of common shares without authorization. But the price of the APEs fell, making them less effective for fundraising. Shareholders voted in March to back a company proposal to do with APEs, converting them to common shares, and finally allowed AMC to sell shares. But some stockholders sued in Delaware Chancery Court to block the conversion. They agreed to a settlement with AMC shortly after, but the settlement came under the purview of the same judge who refused to approve it. Aaron acknowledged the dilution concern, but said it's more important to put ourselves in a position to raise equity capital. This is what will make it more likely that first we survive and then that we thrive. In my view, the wisest way to defeat the short thesis is to take bankruptcy risk off the table to the extent possible, and we do that by AMC being able to raise equity if, as, and when needed. He said AMC and the plaintiffs in the case have modified the settlement. If the court agrees, it would be our hope to implement as soon as possible that the plan approved in the AMC stockholders election in March. The plan, you know what I mean. AMC stock is surging Monday on the weekend box office, but shares started shooting higher in late trading Friday after the court's ruling. The now tabled one-to-one conversion of APEs to common shares had favored APE holders. APEs are down 3%. And he did urge people to go and read this. Oh, I accidentally pulled up the thing. I have not read the entire thing yet. But what do y'all think? AMC was already in kind of a bad way by the last time they were talking about bankruptcy, and it's not good that they were talking about it 2 years ago, and it's right back up. Their stock prices, of course, because of memes and things of the sort, did amazing for a little bit, and then went back down, came back up, went back down, came back up, as stocks tend to do. This, though, I think proves that the company is in a sore spot. I guess the only big thing that I can think of from AMC right now that Better Call Saul is over, is The Walking Dead and its spinoffs. They did just renew both Dead City and Daryl Dixon. I get, is it a Rick show or they're Rick movies? I'm not positive. I'm intrigued by all of this because there's only Walking Dead really keeping that thing alive right now. I know Interview with the Vampire is another series on AMC right now, but AMC is the channel that I watched the most growing up. And I don't know if I could even name another show besides Walking Dead shows and Interview with the Vampire right now. And that's just because I like Jacob Anderson, the guy that played Grey Worm on Game of Thrones. Full circle. I think the guy's a great actor. I just criminally underutilized nowadays. A very modern look, but very capable of playing medieval characters and fantasy characters, Game of Thrones, But, anyway, it's interesting. I think the implications of this are many and not all that great. I think Adam Aaron is trying to... Is it Adam Aaron or Aaron Adam? I'm second-guessing myself now. Adam Aaron, okay. That rolls off the tongue a little bit better. I've heard of people not liking the CEO much. I don't have anything about it that I can... How have we not seen this hat before? I don't know. I'd put it on Snapchat every now and then. But yeah, I got my cowboy hats. I've got my felt hat for the winter upstairs. This is just my summer straw hat, of course. And now that my hair's this long, I haven't really worn it since last year, summerish. And now that the hair's this long, I'm liking the way it looks. I gotta get out and about with this thing on. But we were just talking. If you want to come say howdy, Jamie, you're more than welcome as well. But yeah, we're just talking. AMC is completely out of cash, or is projected to be completely out of cash by 2024, 2025. And Adam Aaron, the CEO, is saying, we want to keep ourselves furthest away from bankrupt as possible, of course. And the company has APEs. They have its stock. There are ways for it to get out of where it's at, and I guess where it could be. I think the Barbenheimer weekend will do it well, but it needs, freaking 10, 12 weekends, not to the same degree as Barbenheimer, but $100 million weekends over and over. It needs that with before 2024, maybe by halfway through 2024, or the film industry is really going to be changing at a level that we probably unprecedented. Like we've talked about a little bit, is how are these companies going to survive if people stop going to the movie theaters? If the theater companies are not able to survive and everything's kind of forced onto streaming, onto cable in some weird way, it's going to be weird. My thought process almost goes to, is that the only way that are mom and pop shops the only way that theaters can survive long term? But it has to be a mom and pop shop by like definition, just because it's an independent place, but probably owned by someone with a bunch of money that's just has a theater for fun. Cineworld's down. That article we were just reading was talking about Regal is obviously one of Cineworld's places, and Regal's shutting down a whole bunch of places too. If AMC theaters start shutting down, I don't know what we're gonna do. The implications are many. The implications are many, many, many. But yeah, well, let me bring up this Barbenheimer thing just while we're thinking box office and things of the sort. We will bring up Barbenheimer, and then I've got, I think, 2 more things to talk about, y'all. Dos Mas. Where? The hardest part about bringing stuff back up after the fact is finding it again to share. Barbie and Oppenheimer deliver 4th largest weekend ever. I found it. Now let me, oh, okay, good. It already put y'all on here. Close out these ads, It's a short little article. So let's read it, huh? Okay. And the 4th biggest box office weekend in domestic theatrical history. Okay, that's essentially what that's saying. But this is the meat of the article. Greta Gerwig's fantasy comedy starring Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling as Barbie and Ken absolutely smashed through box office predictions with an astonishing $162 million take, above Sunday's estimate of $155 million, which is $50 million more than what the estimate was prior to everything, which was already record-breaking, yes. The film declined just 9% from Saturday's take to bring in an additional $43.7 million on Sunday alone, which is enough to rank as the highest opening weekend of the year, beating out the Super Mario Brothers movie, which had already defied belief with its $146 million opening. Yeah. Barbie also now holds the record for the biggest debut ever for a film directed by a woman, overtaking the $153 million gross by Captain Marvel in 2019. Oh, okay. I see. I thought that was going to be a Wonder Woman one. But Captain Marvel, I know Ryan Fleck was there too, but it is definitely co-directed by a woman. That film was directed by Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck. The film added $182 million internationally for a sensational $337 million total. Warner Brothers president of domestic distribution, Jeff Goldstein, wrote a celebratory note to the press which stated, "This historic result reflects the intense heat, interest, and enthusiasm for Barbie. The doll we indeed have long. This doll will indeed have long, long legs." I don't know about the legs. I mean, we know about Margot Robbie's legs, but also I don't think this film is going to have the legs that people are guessing it would. It's a bit of a oneer. It's that type of film that you watch once. It's not one that you go back to over and over again. It's one that sits with you and you think about. If they would have leaned a little bit more into comedy, I think it might be one that you go have repeat viewings on. But I don't necessarily think this is one that people are going to go back and forth with, which Oppenheimer, oddly enough, with how long it is and how serious it is, I assumed it may be kind of one of the same, but I don't think so. I think it is one that you might be able to go back and forth with. I'm going to go see it a second time this week. Yeah, it's insane. But anyway, Atomic Blonde, which clever. Barbie isn't the only bombshell from this weekend, though. Oppenheimer brought in an arguably more impressive haul of $82.4 million, just slightly higher than Sunday's atomic $81.5 million projection. Internationally, the biopic about theoretical physicists in charge of the Manhattan Project took an additional $93.7 million for a worldwide total of $174 million, which is just an incredible number for a 3-hour character study that is shot in black and white for large portions of the film. Domestically, as an R-rated film, it's an R-rated film that made that much money. Nobody does that besides like It Chapter 1 and 2 and Deadpool 1 and 2. It's bested only by The Passion of Christ, which makes sense, which had something of a devoted pre-built following going into it. Really? Yeah, that makes sense. The viral sensation of Barbenheimer double features, special costumes, and TikTok trends at all helped push the box office to the biggest collective weekend since the pandemic, and more importantly, the 4th biggest weekend in history with over $300 million. It's beautiful. The top 3 weekends of all time are led by Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War, and Star Wars The Force Awakens. No surprise in any of those, which gives you an idea of the cultural impact of this weekend's past. Both of the films also carried immaculate word of mouth, damn right, and A cinema scores, plus Oppenheimer's IMAX screen sold out worldwide for the next 2 weeks, which will bring in even more money. 47% of Oppenheimer's domestic tally was brought in by premium and large format film, with IMAX also representing $35 million of ticket sales. Damn, I like to see it. I like to see it. The 4 largest box office weekends ever have all been within the last 5 years. No. Force Awakens was 2015. Three out of the top 4 ever have been within the last 5 years, and one was kind of like Passion of the Christ. It had a devoted fan base going into it. Maybe not entire religion, but there is Jediism. Jediism is religion. So there was technically a religion clamoring and ready for that Force Awakens film when it came out. My brain goes to so many different places, and I'm trying to think. Obviously, it's the amount of people willing to go to a movie theater is either absolutely huge or absolutely next to nothing. And I guess it has to be these big old should the budget for maybe cinema can be saved. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Would it make sense for typically it's either 1.5 or double the budget of the film, and that's your marketing kind of cost. You're either doing what it costs, doubling it, or 1.5 it most of the time. Should they change, I guess, that process and really reel in how much they're spending on making these movies? Because Oppenheimer is amazing, but it didn't cost as much as a lot of these movies. Barbenheimer is also amazing and a big scope, big scale, big cinema, just everything. But it's not the most expensive movie ever in the world to make either. And they did spend a little extra just for the sake of it. But would it make sense to replace the marketing budget with the actual budget and the budget with the marketing budget? Kinda, sorta. You see where I'm coming from? I think it might be a way to just, reel in not necessarily the filmmakers, but kind of make people more economic with their filmmaking, which is we've lost the last kind of decade in a lot of ways, and I think that we need to most definitely get back to that. If we have economic filmmakers that have not necessarily just bigger marketing budgets for the sake of bigger marketing budgets, like, oh, we'll put it on TikTok ads, we'll put it on YouTube ads, we'll put it on ads here, whatever. Barbie did a really good job with ads, and Oppenheimer kind of lucked out with Barbie being so good with ads because their ads tended to include Oppenheimer. Thankfully, Barbenheimer was just perfect, and it allowed Barbie to stay out front, which works very well for that. Could we see more tag team marketing as well? That's just an ancillary thought there, but tag team marketing works well. Barbie did so well with marketing. There was pink burgers in Brazil. There's clothing that people wanted to wear. It was almost like, the Minions, they were selling out a bunch of stuff. I'm surprised people still go see the Despicable Me movies the way they do, but they would go to the theaters all dressed in suits like Minions and stuff. And that made a lot of money doing that. are gimmicks, and not necessarily, because we've kind of gone into gimmicky filmmaking the past 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 years, something like that. Would it be better to be more gimmicky marketing wise? Because usually that's kind of the way to do it. Gimmicky commercials are what gets you, you know? Like, so easy a caveman can do it. Save 15%, whatever, you know, stuff like that. Barbie did that and did that very well. It is a very gimmicky film, so it was easy to do that for it. But I think that might be a very good idea of a way to look forward in marketing in film. Yeah, I just had that thought pop up, so it was not stated and said very well or eloquently, but I think it might be a good idea. I think it might be a good idea. More economic filmmaking alongside more fun marketing, and not necessarily let's put it on, because, you know, usually you can go to like Google ads, or you can go to Instagram ads, Facebook ads, whatever it is, Meta ads, I'm assuming now, Twitter ads, now X ads or whatever. And a slew of these different companies, different places, Microsoft, Bing, you can put whatever, you know, you can put the ads where you want them to be. And that tends to be the easiest way of doing things, because, you know, people who are more inclined to go see your work are the ones that those ads are tailored to. But I think the trailer should, of course, tell you the narrative. It should tell you the story, and the marketing should make it feel like it's for everybody, but really, really grab you in and bring you in tune by the time the film comes out. Yeah, I like the idea of really changing the way a lot of things work in Hollywood. Obviously, the landscape is changing right now. That might be one of those things to add into the landscape change. Be cool. Hey, look, I'm dressed to do some landscaping right now. I'm prepared for it. Let's do some landscaping. But yeah, okay. So this one is interesting. This is another small article, so we'll go over it real quick. Let me put it back up here with you. There we are. So I will read it through very briefly, but we're going to cover. There we go. X, Twitter. I'll preface this with, I've always been a Twitter person. I am a Twitter person. Much more so than I think any other social media site. Maybe not Snapchat. I like Snapchat a lot just because that's where I go to smoke and always have. But I don't like this. I would use X over Threads any day of the week, because it's actually, you know, not just a copy and paste of another company. Well, it kind of is. This is just another company changing its title, like Facebook did Meta, et cetera, et cetera. But just off the bat, I'm not the biggest fan. Anyway, while that's being said, let's jump in a little bit. Y'all ready? Linda Yaccarino calls Twitter rebrand to X a second chance to make another big impression. Also, I remember it was a big thing whenever it first happened, but Linda Yaccarino is the CEO of Twitter, not Elon Musk. People forget that. And, you know, this is kind of her first big thing. So let's see. Linda Yaccarino is sharing her take on the Twitter rebrand to X after Elon dropped the news over the weekend on the social media platform. Musk posted on Twitter that Twitter was not going to be known as Twitter anymore and would now be known as X. The Tesla owner said he was going to introduce an interim logo for the platform sometime on Sunday, July 23rd, with the x.com domain pointing to twitter.com. Yaccarino says the rebrand is the opportunity to make another first impression as the company seeks to be a hub for everything. It's an exceptionally rare thing in life or in business that you get a second chance to make another big impression, she tweeted. Twitter made one massive impression and changed the way we communicate. Now, X will go further, transforming the global town square. She continued, X is the future state of unlimited interactivity, centered in audio, video, messaging, payments, banking, creating a global marketplace for ideas, goods, services, and opportunities. Powered by AI, which I believe it's going to be the XAI, Elon's new AI company, X will connect us all in ways we're just beginning to imagine. Yaccarino said that everyone has pushed Twitter to dream bigger, to innovate faster, and to fulfill our greatest potential. with X able to do that and more. We've already started to see X take shape over the past 8 months through our rapid feature launches, but we're just getting started, she added. There's absolutely no limit to this transformation. X will be on the platform that can deliver, well, everything. Elon and I are looking forward to working with our teams and every single one of our partners to bring X to the world. Thoughts? Anybody else got some thoughts real quick? Because I've got a couple. I've got a few. And I've got good thoughts about it. I've got bad thoughts about it. I've got thoughts that I don't know exactly where to place about it. I've got thoughts. So, anything from y'all? Anything from y'all? What are y'all thinking? Because my first, I'm not gonna ever call it. I just have you seen my latest X? Have you X'd recently? What was your last X? Screw that. It's a tweet. It's a tweet. Tweet. Tweet is too freaking perfect to move away. It's the tweeter bird, the Twitter bird. That I'm not happy about. I think it's dumb to move away from that aspect of it because it's just so intrinsically part of the platform, Twitter, X, whatever the hell. I don't think calling tweets X's will do good. I don't necessarily think that changing Twitter into X is the worst thing. I don't like it, but maybe it's one of those things that we will get used to over time. Like Meta, of course, was like, come on, what the hell are you doing? But we're already kind of used to Meta, not truly used to it. Used to might not be the actual correct term. But, you know, we've become a little more inclined to it. That's, I guess, where we'll keep that at. I think Twitter and X will kind of be similar. But I'm never calling a tweet an X. That's all I know. Honestly, that's my biggest hang up with it. I do like that Elon is allowing, and Yacarino are allowing it to become much more than just a small little social media platform. It's kind of becoming Twitter. It's kind of becoming YouTube in its own sense, which is kind of cool. So, just the thought there, if y'all would like us to kind of put stuff on Twitter, I mean X or whatever it is, let me know. Obviously, we do have an account. I don't know what to call it. The Twitter X, Twitterx. No, I was hoping that was going to sound cool or something, and it just sounded dumb. Yeah. We have a Twitter /X account, of course, but would you like us to utilize it? I can pay that $10 a month or whatever and have us be a certified thing. So then we're monetizable and we can do everything we need to grow. But does that sound like a cool idea? I don't know. I'm just thinking aloud. I have nothing planned for it like that or anything of the sort. I'd rather push stuff to Patreon at the moment. I do have a couple series that I'd like to get planned and going. I'd like to get a bunch of stuff out there this coming August. But you know, we got a plan, and this coming August is in a week, so probably more like 3 weeks to a month from now is my guess. But I'm also going out of town to shoot a movie, independent film, no strike withholding or whatever, yada yada. We're allowed to shoot, we're allowed to do all that. So that might push that back. It might be September. I might as well say September, be prepared for Patreon stuff. But Twitter seems like it could be an interesting place for a certain type of content. I just don't know what type of content that may be yet. Because videos in the YouTube sense are working for like large creators, but obviously we're young folk down here. We're babies around here. Nothing huge yet. So that might not be the place for us at the moment, but it might be a good place to grow. Just that thought. Anyway, that's really like the news for today, I guess. Just watch it. Was wondering what you would think. Don't have to restream it. The man just had some interesting things to say about how much it would cost the studios to settle both strikes. Okay. We're gonna hope it doesn't screw us up. Someone talking though on YouTube, and it's not necessarily like it's not like a channel they, you know, I I think by technicality we should be fine. What am I searching for? Steve Shives rant. Steve Shives. Strike rant. Oh, I did not spell strike right. Strike right. Strike rant. 2 months ago, 7 days ago. Why are studio executives like this? How much will it cost to? Is it 8 hours ago? Ooh. It's also 13 minutes. I don't know if we can do 13-minute video right now. That's a lot to watch, not get struck down, and to try to continue to comment on and have a discussion go forth. That's kind of 13 minutes of dead time. I will watch it though, and yeah, let's talk about it on Movie Tuesday tomorrow. That sound like a plan? Because I have it saved right here. I'm gonna put it in this little group tab here. How much will it cost to settle the WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because it's a 13.5-minute video. Yeah, so that's just a little too much dead time for old YouTube, you know. But let's fill some of that dead time, you know. There is where. There we go. Of course, this is just the article I have up at the moment. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, I don't know anything about this. I've never paid attention to this before. But now that we're streaming fairly often, there are streaming awards. So let's just take a look. I think there's a few categories, so I'll go fairly fast through these. I'll just be kind of spouting the names off. If you see somebody in a category that you think you should win, put it in the comment section below, and we'll talk about it. I'll give you the person I think. If I think that somebody should win, I will say them. That one's easy though, because I can just pick a name I know. If I have a preference of who most likely will win, I will say that, and then I'll tell you who I think should win as well. The should win is a little easier, I guess. But overall awards, the Creator of the Year award, Eric, Alex Earl, Charlie D'Amelio, Jay Shetty, Gideon, Logan Paul, Michaela Noguera, Mr. Beast, Ryan Trahan, and Zach King. This guy's funny. He can be funny. It's Mr. Beast, right? Mr. Beast probably is the one that I would think should win and is most likely to win. There's simply not a Creator of the Year that's done more than Mr. Beast for the past 5 years, really. Even maybe a little longer, a little shorter than that, give or take. But realistically, yeah, he's Creator of the Year. Old Jimmy Donaldson himself. Show of the Year, though. Oh, okay. So streaming shows and things like that. AMP, no idea what that is. Bryce, Brandon Rogers, don't know what that is. Challenge accepted. Michelle Kerr, don't know what that is. Chicken Shop Date, Amelia DeMoldenberg. That was hard to say, but I think I said it right. I do like her show. I think she does a really good job. I'm a big fan of Rhett and Link on Good Mythical Morning, and Sean Evans on Hot Ones is the frickin' best. I spent a day with Anthony Padilla. I'm not familiar with it. I like Anthony Padilla generally, I think, but RDC World, Sam and Colby, and I think that's how you say that. I'm thinking. I don't know any of those people at all. So my top three, which I think would probably be the top three most popular. I'm not positive. Those are just the ones that I'm familiar with. The one I think should win. Ooh, I like both the chicken shows. I'm a chicken man. Ooh. because I really do like Amelia. I don't know how to say her last name very well, but Amelia's show, The Chicken Shop Date. I think it's a really good, and she does a really good job as an interviewer. She's like perfectly awkward, but like she's acting, and she does really good with it. But I think the one that's most Good Mythical Morning is up there, and I think it's always up there. I don't know how long they've been doing the Streamy Awards, but I would assume that Good Mythical Morning's been a part of them every single time. They're like that, probably like, oh yeah, they've got always a good chance. But I would say should and most likely to win, I'm going Hot Ones. Sean Evans I think Amelia is a great host, but I think Sean Evans just does so much research prior to things and then is able to hold his cool, continue to ask questions, stay professional within getting his brain just blown away by hot sauce. Like, it's amazing. So, yeah, I'd say Sean Evans and Hot Ones. I'm a big fan. I don't know the other half of these nominees, but out of the three I do know, I would think he probably should win and is most likely to at the same time. But show of the year, let's go streamer of the year. Okay, I'm not going to know very many of these either, though. Amiru, I know Hassan Abi, Iron Mouse, I Show Speed, Kai Sinat, Ludwig, I do not know. Quackity or Quaxity? Quackity? Tariq, Valkyrie, or XQC? I don't know any of these guys besides the Hassan Abi guy. And I just know him because I think he did an episode of the Flagrant 2 podcast with Andrew Scholes, and that was pretty funny. And, I don't necessarily agree with the dude. I'd probably agree with him half the time, maybe more than half the time. That's typically what you are with most people, But I don't like to. I don't necessarily agree with the things that he tends to like be polarizing about. He is the only person I'm really familiar with out of all these nominees, though. Iron Mouse sounds cool, though. So I'm going to say I want Iron Mouse to win. Win the award. But I think probably out of everybody here, the only one I'm familiar with is Hassan, and I would say he's most likely to win. But Brain Pain, you are right, my friend. Hot Ones has got to win. I would watch the Streamy Awards just to make sure Hot Ones wins. If they don't, I'll never watch them again. Just kidding. I don't know. We might be on there one day. We're not going to be on there one day. I don't even think this type of streaming is the type of streaming they're awarding. But we're in the same atmosphere. So it's fun to just, I guess, be more aware of this than I already am. Obviously, I know like half of things or 1 out of 10, Sorry, streamers of the year. I know none of you besides one. But Iron Mouse sounded cool, so I'm sticking with Iron Mouse. Anyway, let's keep moving. International streamers. Mike Crack from Spain. KB Lame from Italy. Ibai from Spain. Gales. Gales? I don't know how to say that. Brazil. Or Inaldino from Brazil. I don't know. I was saying it like they were Spanish pronunciations, but because I don't know how to do Portuguese pronunciations for the Brazil stuff. I don't know any of these people. So no opinion, but Mike Crack sounds cool. So I'm going for Mike Crack. It's also like the most English thing on there, so that kind of looks bad. But hey, you know what? It's easy. I'm going for it. Anyway, short form. What? Short form streamers: Rich Black Guy, Elise Myers, Connor Price, Chris Olsen, or the Cheeky Boyos. The Cheeky Boyos sounds too much like the Island Boys or something. So I don't know any of these people, but I'm pushing them to the side. If I had to choose somebody, Rich Black Guy sounds funny. I don't know. Rich Black Guy just sounds funny. Everybody else those are very normal names. But my money is on Rich Black Guy for the Streamy Awards. Okay, so individual awards. Okay, this is when it gets like into the good stuff, I guess, maybe, possibly. We'll see. Breakout creator, Alex Earl, Drew Afualo, Dylan Mulvaney, Jake, Shane, Octopus Lover 8, or Keith Lee? The only one I'm familiar with is Dylan Mulvaney there, and I wouldn't necessarily say she's a breakout creator. She definitely had the most breakout year, probably out of everybody, if that's the way to say that. But I'm not I'm not very familiar with her content, and the content that I do know she's filmed is none of it like that. I don't drink beer. I'm not part of this whole debate. I live in Hollywood. I don't care what you are, who you are, how you deal with your own personal life, et cetera, et cetera. So preface everything there. But everything that Dylan Mulvaney has streamed that I am familiar with, at least, has required little to no talent, and everything that the talented, like I know she's gone up and sung and things like that, and she can sing, she's got a voice, whatever. It's very none of it seems heartfelt. It all seems like it's all a show, sure, but like there's got to be a love for the art and not art for their art for art's sake is good, but it's good from someone that loves art and is art and is doing art for art's sake and not art for there's no art for art's sake, it's art for cash sake. And I like me some cash. I'm from oil countries where I was born and raised, not born but raised. So yeah, I got nothing against cash, and I got nothing against people either. So both sides, I can see. Yeah. Anyway, next topic. This guy's got a cool name. I'm going with him. Keith, actually, Octopus Lover 8. I don't know anything about any of these people really, but Octopus Lover 8 as breakout creator, you've got my choice. You've got my choice for the streamy. Yeah, for the streamy. That's the right way to say that, I would think. Oh my God, how many of these things are there? Breakout streamer though, Agent 00, Extra Emily, Phantom, Fillion, or Shy Lily. Once again, I am not familiar with any of these folks. Agent 00 sounds cool. And I'm guessing he was born in 2000, or she or whoever was born in 2000. Just the 00 makes me think that. So, they're got to be my neck of the woods. They're a year younger than me. I'll go with Agent 00. Anyway, collaborations within the Streamy Awards. They just said individual awards and then collaboration right under. That just threw me off for a second. Anyway, we've got Albert Kincook and Chef Rush for the protein burrito with the big man Chef Rush. Cleo Abram and Marquis Brownlee for quantum computers. I actually watched that video. That's a great video. Cooking with Linja and Dick. Oh God, sorry, man. Sorry. Oh, Nick DiGiovanni. Cooking with Linja and Nick DiGiovanni. Japan vlogs. I have seen that one. I don't like Nick DiGiovanni very much. I don't dislike. I like what he cooks. I just don't like the style of it at all. I just like it's too crass, and I like crass shit, but that's like it's not crass. Might not even be the right word. It's just like, oh my God, it makes me want to bang a damn pan against my head. But Haley Khalil and Jared Leto in This Economy, Mr. Beast and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Surprised he didn't pick Rock every time. Okay, so I've seen some of these videos. The only ones I've seen, of course, are the second one, the quantum computer. The third one, the Nick DiGiovanni, the Japan vlogs, and then the third one I have seen is Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Mr. Beast for surprise he didn't pick The Rock every time. The one that I think should win is probably going to be the quantum computer one, but the one that I expect to win is going to be Mr. Beast and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Surprised he didn't pick The Rock every time, because I would be surprised if the Streamy Awards didn't pick The Rock every time. That's all I got. That's all I got for that. I was like, I have the opportunity for a pun. I am taking it. Anyways, let us keep moving. The creator for Social Good. Oh, I mean, Mr. Ballin Foundation. I'm not familiar with that. Sounds cool. Jacksepticeye. Jacksepticeye. World Central Kitchen, Invisible People, Dr. Lupo, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, and Beast Philanthropy. I'm familiar with the Beast Philanthropy, and of course I know St. Jude's Children's Hospital, but I'm not familiar with Mr. Ballin or Invisible People. I like the sound of both of those things. World Central Kitchen sounds cool, but I'm still kind of hung up on Jack's Septic Eye. Is it Jack's Septic Eye, or is it Jack's Eptic Eye, or Jack Septic Eye? That's the first time I've ever heard that. But if it's Jack Septic Eye or Jack Septic Eye, either one, that just sounds nasty, right? I don't want a septic eye, especially if it's around a World Central Kitchen. Yeah, that's a negatory Ghost Rider on my end. I'm going. The one that probably should win is, my gut says, St. Jude's Children's Hospital. But Beast Philanthropy maybe I think it's the one that's most likely to win Beast Philanthropy. If not, it's probably Children's Hospital. It could be Invisible People or Mr. Ballin. I'm not familiar with those, so it may be. But my gut feeling says St. Jude, just because it's the one I know more so. But the Beast Philanthropy videos, they've done a lot of different things, and I think they stay within these industries that they do per videos. So it's a little bit more of a wide array of things. So I think they might actually beat out my gut instinct there and say that they should win just because of the wideness of their reach. St. Jude has a huge reach, very wide as well, but it is it's strictly cancer research, which there's already billions and billions and billions of dollars of that every year. So maybe all of these other things that none of us are necessarily familiar with, or few of us are familiar with, that Beast Philanthropy are helping with, it might do a little bit more bang per buck. Does that make sense? Am I on the right track there, y'all think? Or am I thinking a little backwards? I don't know. That might just be my own personal thought process there, but y'all let me know what you're thinking. Let me know. Creator product, though. Bays, Shay Mitchell. Crunch Labs, Mark Rober. Feastables, Mr. Beast. Popflex, Blogolates. That's funny. Or Prime, Logan Paul and KSI. Yeah, we can go ahead and scratch this off. Do not drink that ever in your life. First of all, if you drink energy drinks, I like literally stop, please. I used to be a 5-hour energy, like 2 times a day type person, and that was like growing up too. I was never a big energy drink person, but I was a 5-hour energy person like nobody's business. And I know a bunch of people who love energy drinks. I worked in the food industry for a little while, and of course, you know, literally I had fellow employees taking like Red Bull shotguns before a shift, just so they'd feel more awake before like running around for half an hour or half a day, more so. Prime's bad. It's been proven bad. I think they're getting taken to court. So like legally it's bad too. Like just avoid that, avoid that. So that's a big no-no on me for that one. I am familiar with it. The only other two I'm familiar with are Crunch Labs and Feastables. Don't know what this is. Maybe like a skin product or something is my guess. Popflex, Blogolati sounds like some exercise something. So that might be some exercise equipment, which, hey, the world kind of needs to get back into exercise mode, myself included. But I've been doing all right. I just got to get back to truly pumping the iron, as they say. Anyway, I think the most likely to win is probably Feastables. But the one that should win is Crunch Labs. If y'all don't watch Mark Rober, he's one of those people that doesn't put many videos out, but the ones he does put out are very well thought through. There's a lot going on. And I mean, he does put out a bunch of videos now. I think he does podcasts and things like that. But his main channel I think it's just Mark Rober, but Crunch Labs is his company, and he's got a whole new place for it now, which looks pretty freaking cool. That guy does amazing things, and he also encourages youth to do more engineering, do more things that are passionate things that they can learn from, I guess. Not so much just, sorry, y'all, I'm one of the bad folk over here. I'm just watching movies and telling you what I think about it. But there's always a place for that. This guy, though, is truly he's doing work that we all need to be doing. You know, I was gonna say he's doing the Lord's work. I'm just joking, but in a way, technically, you know, I'm not religious, which is why I said I'm joking. But yeah, if I were, I would be saying that because he's telling the youth to do the things that they need to be doing, and not necessarily just telling. You know, he's encouraging, standing alongside. He's doing like summer camps and stuff like that too. Which, if you make the type of cash he makes, I'm surprised you got time for something like that. But respect. So he's the one. Mark Rober, Crunch Labs, I think, should win that. I think most likely to win is Mr. Beast, of course. Crossover, though, Haley Road Bieber, Jonas Brothers, Kate Hudson, Lily Reinhart, Camila Mendez, Madeline Petch, Blonde Brunette Redhead, or Paris Hilton. I mean, I know all of these names. Crossover what? I'm so confused. What does that mean? You know what? I said I was just gonna give you names if I'm familiar with all those names, so it's not really like I can pick one over the other because I have no idea what this thing is. This is the only one that actually sounds like an actual crossover between something, and the guy that found you know, just for a little the full circle here. We'll say Lily Reinhart and Camila Mendez and Madeline Petch. Is that how you say it? Petch, yeah. We'll say that they deserve and should win, only because this is a little biased. I've never met Lily Reinhart. I don't actually think I've watched anything that she's been in because I'm not a Riverdale person. CW, sorry, you know, talked about that earlier. But old Chamber Stevens, the guy that, you know, was on this past Wednesday talking about the SAG and the WGA strikes, and we'll try to have him on again. If y'all can think of some topics that would be fun to ask him about, bring him on, or if we just want to bring him on for some new stuff one day, that might be fun. But Chambers found Lily Reinhart. He found Jay Head, the guy, one of my good friends, the guy that played SJ from The Blind Side. He also found Lily Reinhart and was an acting coach. He's been an acting coach for so many freaking people, you'd be shocked. But he was the person that discovered Lily Reinhart, quote unquote. So that's pretty cool. We had him on here last Wednesday. This Wednesday, 2 days from now, Cinema Scoop Wednesday. Be prepared because we got a full SAG actor coming on. Chambers, I don't know if he's currently a SAG member. I know he has been multiple times in his life, but we do have a SAG member coming on this Wednesday who did go to San Diego Comic-Con this past weekend, and he's going to kind of delve into like what they were able to do there, what they weren't able to do there, the lack of some things being there, and the inclusion of others, et cetera, et cetera. And then we will dive into some other questions that we might not have been able to ask this past time with Chambers. But yeah, Gregory Crafts is coming on this Wednesday, and great guy. I'm excited for it, and yeah, I'm just kind of that was a fun little shout out. I didn't realize I was gonna be able to say that, but that's good. Anyway, first person, like first person shooters and stuff. I don't know. Iraq, Ben of the Week, Danny Duncan, Ryan Trahan, or Sophia Nygaard. Ooh, I feel like I'm familiar with Danny. Oh, I feel like I know Ben of the Week. I don't know Ben of the Week, but I know of Ben of the Week. But I like the name Sophia Nygaard. I hope Sophia Nygaard wins just because she's got a really cool name. But Ben of the Week, I think, is going to win. Maybe. Maybe. That's just my guesses. Just chatting, though. Your Rage, XQC, Quack City, Kai Sinat, and Hassan Abi. maybe one day we'll end up in a just chatting category or variety category, either one, honestly. But out of these guys, I really only know of the Hassan Abi guy. So I'd say he's most likely to win. But Quackity or Quackity, I don't know. That's just funny. I hope Quackity wins. But I think Hassan Abi is going to win. Maybe. I don't know. We're just guessing. I think, oh my God, music awards? Okay. Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna like speed through these, yo. We're gonna speed through these. Oh, come on, my mouse doesn't want to work again. It was doing that to me last week. We're gonna super speed through these. You ready? Yep. We got to. Variety streamer, Amiru, I Show Speed, Lyric, Ludwig, or Valkyrie. I like the name Valkyrie. So I'm going to say Valkyrie should win, but Ludwig sounds important. So I'm saying Ludwig is going to win. 10 gallons of fun. 10 gallons of a lot of categories that I didn't realize were all the way down there. Shit. But VTubers, Filion, Gower Gura, Iron Mouse, Jaden Animations, or Shucks2? Shucks2? That like a X, like as a placeholder, like shit too? I don't know. I think Jaden Animations is gonna win. I want Iron Mouse to win. I just like the name Iron Mouse. Music awards, because we're spading through these, I hope. Music awards, Rolling Stones Sound of the Year, Area Codes by Khalid, Boys a Liar Part 2, Pink Panthers and Ice Spice, Goated, Armani White, Here With Me, D4VD. Was that David, kind of almost? In Ha Mood. That's weird to say. Ice Spice, Made You Look, Megan Trainor, Players, Koi Leray, Pretty Girls Walk, Big Boss Vet, Unholy, Sam Smith, Kim Petrus, What It Is, Dochi. Pretty Girls Walk, Big Boss Vet was just really fun to say, so I hope they win. I don't know a single person name on this list besides Megan Trainor, though, which is a sentence I never thought I would say. So I would assume she's winning. Where's the category I would win? You'd be just chatting technically, right? Or would you be variety? Because we'd all be in the same kind of categories. I'm not positive. I don't know. Show awards, podcast. Hey, technically these are all podcasts, which is cool. Monday through Friday, I have these set for podcasts. But Call Her Daddy, the H3 podcast, Impulsive, On Purpose with Jay Shetty, or The Yard. Those are the podcasts? Like, really? That's BS. Oh, yeah, Fantasyland. Me too, don't worry. But what do you, okay, we'll take just the one brief moment to talk about that one, because that's BS. Why is Call Her Daddy on there? Honestly, I'm familiar with that podcast, but it's not like a huge podcast. Impulsive is not even one of the biggest or most successful podcasts right now. If we're being realistic, most of those podcasts, most of the streaming awards there should be comedians. Like, that should be Flagrant 2. That should probably be the Kill Tony podcast. That should probably be Two Bears, One Cave would be up there. That Burt Kreischer and oh my God. Why can't I remember his freaking name? Tom Segura. Oh my God. How could I not remember Tom Segura? Those are the ones that should be up there. None of those should be on that. So you know what? I'm saying screw that category. We're skipping that category as well, but you got my 2 cents about it, you know? Because none of those make sense. That legitimately does not make a lick of sense right there. That's so weird. You could win a chilling in the basement category if they had one. Damn right. That's actually like that could so be a category or something like. I could see them incorporating something along those lines, you know. But now we got to bring it to them. We got to pitch it to them. And that's I don't know if they'd even listen to our pitches if they're choosing people like that for their podcast stuff. Like, I'm familiar with this one and this one, this one and this one. I think I know what the yard is, but how are those the nominees? They're not the most successful. They're not the most any of that. Honestly, it's actually happening right now. Yeah, no, I don't see how they nominated any of those people. I want to know the stipulations for the nominations there because none of that makes sense. Go with your strengths, always. You know, always. Anyway, Anyway, scripted series: Bryce, Brendan Rodgers, Darman, the Game Theorist, Ginormo, Stephen He, RDC World. I don't know any of these, but the Game Theorist sounds cool, and like you could do a lot with it. So I would say I would hope that one wins, and I would think it wins because it sounds like the most official. Bryce also just looks kind of official for some reason. I don't know why. But I'm not familiar with any of those. So we shall continue. Unscripted series, though. Challenge accepted, Michelle Kerr. Chicken Shop Date, Amelia de Moldenberg. Hot Ones, First We Feast. First We Feast would be Quentin Tarantino's version of it. But First We Feast, Hot Ones. I Spent a Day with Anthony Padilla and Sam and Colby. I am familiar with these. Feel like I might know what Sam and Colby is, but I don't know. I don't know Challenge Accepted, though. The First and Feast. God, I can't even say that together now. Hot Ones, First We Feast. I think both is the one that I would choose and deserves it, where I do love Chicken Shop Date. It's just not as... It's not as... It's not as anything, I guess. It's not as hot. Just kidding. It's hotter because Amelia de Moldenberg's good looking. But it's not as hot wing-wise, which means there's just one less barrier between them. Not truly, though, because Amelia de Moldenberg, I'm going to get used to saying that name. The way she acts and is like very like, oh, I'm not interested, but I'm interested, but I'm not interested, it's hard to respond to. So the guest is having to actively do something, but sometimes, you know, they kind of act alongside her or whatever. I'm going to go with Hot Ones all around there. All around Hot Ones. Anyway, let us keep moving. Because, you know, there's a lot to go through. Subject awards. Animated. Haminations. Hello Boss. Vivzy Pop. Jaden Animations. The Land of Bogs. Or Meat Canyon. Who the fuck nominated Meat Canyon? That, I was about to say I understand the appeal. I do not understand the appeal to that. I understand the concepts of the things they do, and I guess someone's got to do things. I cannot stand Meat Canyon. I would go as far to say I hate Meat Canyon. And it's not a hate in like I said, the concepts and everything. I understand it, and I even like, I guess, the concepts of it. Meat Canyon? Question mark. Do you know what Meat Canyon is? It's just gross. It's animated, but it's just gross. I no appeal. Zero appeal. Negative appeal for me. I can just make bad, weird noises for an hour just talking about frickin' Meat Canyon. And it'd be better than watching Meat Canyon. Anyway, that being said, I don't know if I'm familiar with all these others. Hell of a Boss sounds cool. I'm going to say he's most likely to win, but Haminations, I like the ham animation, whatever, the little pun there. So I'm going with that. Oh, beauty. Oh, well, this one, you know, I've got the strongest of... What? Is it a dog? I don't know. I hope that's just not a Meat Canyon reference because Oh God, no! I mean, my brain's just thinking about Meat Canyon now. I don't want it to think about Meat Canyon now. It's like the last thing I wanted to think about. Legit gives me. I don't get the heebie-jeebies much. Cockroaches, like, bugs. I don't care about bugs at all. Spiders, I might make a little noise or I might squirm for a second, and then I'll go smash the spider. I'll go burn the spider. I'll get the spider, move it outside, whatever I need to do. Cockroaches, no. And Meat Canyon, I don't know if I squirm. I don't squirm about much, but Meat Canyon is something that really just makes me just, you know. And cockroaches also. I don't even like to smash cockroaches. I might be a country boy at heart, but shit, someone else has got to smash that thing for me. I'll smash anything else besides your freaking cockroaches. You'll get there. No, that I used to not mind it, honestly. And I've had science teachers and stuff in the past that would have giant tree cockroaches, like the giant hissing roaches and stuff like that. I'll let those suckers crawl on my arm. I'll pick them up and carry them. The science teacher used to make us do that, so I got used to that. I don't mind it. There's something that I just can't get over about a cockroach, that they can withstand an atomic bomb, and not a shoe, but they can live through an atomic freaking bomb. And those things are just crawling through my cabinets. They're just crawling over my food. They're crawling over. Nope. Few things make me squirm. I shouldn't tell you of the third one, though. Meat Canyon, I don't know if that counts as one of the three things that make me squirm the most in life, but it's up there for some damn reason. It'd be Meat Canyon. Cockroaches. I forgot what the hell I had just said. Meat Canyon is a synonym for cat. Ooh. Is it really? I don't get it, but I don't like the sound of it either. But the third thing that just, you can on chocolate and nails on a chalkboard any day of the week, and I'm okay with it. I don't love it, of course, but I'm okay with it. Styrofoam is my freaking kryptonite. Like, I'll drink out of a styrofoam cup, no problem. I can pick some styrofoam up and be fine. Lady parts cry. Oh, cats. Yeah. You'll get there. It took me a second. Meat Canyon. Now I'm with you. I started thinking cats, and I was just like, is that because Meat Canyon now I'm thinking about Meat Canyon, the show, the animated whatever the hell on YouTube. It's just so freaking nasty. I've not heard more than a handful of these names since I started watching. Me either, honestly. But at this point, I'm in it to win it. We're not win it, but I'm in it to go through it, And one day we'll be in it to win it. Maybe. We're manifesting it, kind of, sort of. As long as we don't manifest Meat Canyon. Well, Aaron's type of Meat Canyons, I'm okay with manifesting. The Meat Canyon animated YouTube thing. No, please, no. Yeah, I don't know. That's my brain's in too many different places now. I don't even remember exactly what I was saying. But yes, I much prefer your version of Meat Canyon, Aaron. Much better, much better. Anyway, beauty. I've got nothing to say about any of these people. I don't know any of them, so I'm sorry. I'm gonna skip it. Comedy, though. Okay. Once again, that's something I keep up with. Why are any of those people up there? They're all good. But how are they the ones nominated is my question. They're not the most successful. They're not like the top of their own respective worlds either. They're all decent. I want to know how they nominate all this. Yeah, I don't know. Just go chilling. Just go where? uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. If I out of all these, I would say DeMarcus Sean. I'd say both probably deserves it and is most likely to win it. Yeah. Anyway, commentary. I'm familiar a little bit with D'Angelo Wallace. I don't know these four. So D'Angelo Wallace is who I choose? I'm going with yes. Anyway, anything to get the Meat Canyon in the rear view. That kind of worked either way. Anyway, competitive gamer wise, there's typical gamer, Tinzy, Tariq, Scump, and Eyes Timmy. Is it like a South Park reference? Timmy. Am I allowed to do that nowadays? Hell of a Boss is hilarious, but definitely NSFW. Hell yeah. Okay, well then I chose the right person. I chose Hell of a Boss, right? I think so. Because it sounded cool. Yeah. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. I don't know if I'm familiar with any of these guys either, though. Competitive Tariq and Tinzy. They're interchangeable for the one I think should win and the one I hope wins. Just because those are very simple, and I feel like those like really simple little gaming channels tend to be the ones that are best. The super simple ones that are like, yeah, we're just kind of doing what we feel like and have a good time with it. So Tariq or Tinzy, that's who I would choose there. Dance though, I don't know. No, sorry. Keep moving. Fashion and style, I just don't know anybody there. I will read them off, I guess, for the sake of it. Cale Brown, Anola Bedard, Matt Stefanino. That might have not have been a good idea. Merrick Hanna and Yule Wonder. Ooh, Yule Wonder. I hope Yule Wonder wins just because that's actually a really cool name. Fashion and style, Gunnar Deathridge. What? Whose last name is Deathridge? On YouTube, look it up. I shall. I want Gunnar Deathridge to win. Fashion and style, and your last name is Deathridge? It's got to be like an all black style or like some kind of like, ooh, Death Eater Harry Potter style. I don't know, but it'd be cool. Wisdom K. I like the name of that of her. Who I like the name Wisdom K. I also like the name Gunnar Deathridge. Those are going to be interchangeable for the one that I either want to win or should win because I don't know them very well. Welcome, Brain Pain. You'll realize that if you think the nasty thing about what I say, you'll probably be on the right page. The thing is, your version of Meat Canyon is nowhere near as nasty as what actual Meat Canyon was. So my brain didn't even go to it that time. If you don't know what Meat Canyon is, don't look it up. It's not one of those things like, okay, he said it so many times, maybe I should check it out. Just no. Legitimately, like, save your brain. Save your it feels like it's melting as you watch it, and not in like a fun way. I do not like Meat Canyon. I do not like Meat Canyon. I'm usually the happy, optimistic bastard. Meat Canyon has drained that from me. Every time now I'm thinking about it both ways. And when I said Meat Canyon drained that from me, that could be taken either way. Anyway, I'm okay. We're moving. We're moving forward. Food. Really? Okay, this is one I keep up with as well. Alexis Nicole. I want to know the frickin' stipulations for these things. Chef Reactions, Cooking with Linja, Nick DiGiovanni, and Nigel Ng, I think is the correct way to say that. Probably saying it wrong, but Nigel Ng. Cooking with Linja and Nick DiGiovanni should not be separate at all. I guess no, they really shouldn't though. I don't know why Cooking with Linja's on there. I really don't even know why Nick DiGiovanni's on there. Yeah, I'd go Nigel Ing. I'm pretty sure Nigel Ing is Mr. Rogers, Uncle Rogers, not Uncle Roger, but Uncle Rogers or Mr. Rogers. I forget exactly what he goes by. Try this Meat Canyon Yuck, Pink Canyon Yay, Pink Canyon Yay. Yes. But yeah, if that is who I'm thinking of, Mr. Rogers, Uncle Rogers, whichever, either or, he's the guy that should and I would prefer to win. He's funny as shit if he's the guy I'm thinking of. None of those other guys fit. Guga Foods should be the one that is right there. Guga Foods should be winning that. Anyway, that's a whole nother rant I could have all day because I love me some Guga Foods. Anyway, Gamer. I used to be better about this. Oh, okay. I know one of them. I know of Tommy, isn't it? But there's Markiplier, Dream, Kalis, and Afmal. I think I've actually heard of these three. And they fit my easy name for gaming channels little thing that I said earlier that they should win. But I'm more familiar with the bottom two. I think Tommy in it is the one that Dream, I think, is actually, if I could be completely all over the place. I'm just going from the top of my head right now. But I think Dream is the most popular out of all those guys. Or maybe the most like popular currently kind of deal. So I think he'll win. But I think Markiplier should win. I love Markiplier. I don't watch any of his gaming stuff, but I really did enjoy. I am right on who Nigel Ing is. Nigel Ing. I'm going to stop saying it before I just messed it up horribly bad. But yeah, Uncle Rogers, Mr. Rogers is awesome. I love that. He just cracks me up. And he's actually a good cook. And he teams himself up with good cooks. Good cooks. Unlike DeGiovanni and Linja. But anyway, I'm going to keep moving. I like Markiplier. I do like Markiplier a lot. So I'm going for him. I'm rooting for him. Rooting for him for this streamy. But I think Tommy in it or Dream is most likely to win, if I had to guess. Health and wellness-wise, Healthy Gamer GG? What? Lean Beef Patty? Dr. Julie, Dr. Mike, Austin Alexander. I feel like I'm familiar with Austin Alexander. I want to know the stipulations for these because is it the most successful, the newest? I don't know the stipulations for all these streaming awards, and that's something that I think should we go NG pronounced Ing. Ing. Okay, so I was right. The first time, I think. I think I've said it like 12 different ways now. Nigel Ing. Yeah. I think I said Ung at first. Close. No cigar. Ing. Nigel Ing. No, he is hilarious, though. Health and wellness, though. I'm going lean beef patty. I am familiar with many health and wellness folk because I lost over 100 pounds or like 100 pounds and a little over 100 over time, 2 years ago, I think, maybe 3. I think 3 years ago. 3 years ago now. Getting there. Miss Rachel going to dominate. Very familiar with her thanks to my grandson. Oh, that's the next one. Okay. Yeah, I'm going lean beef patty because I went carnivore for 9 months, lost 97 pounds, and then went animal based and things like that further on, and I'm more that nowadays, which is close to paleo, not necessarily keto, but close to it. Yeah, just kind of and that's just how I eat and how I live nowadays. But lean beef patty, I think would fit what I believe, and I'm just not familiar with everybody else, so I couldn't really truly give that a fair assessment. So I'm just going lean beef patty because I like the way they sound, even though you should buy fattier beef patties, like 15-20% fat, not like that 8-10% fat. Anyway, save that for your ribeyes. Now we're in kids and family over here. We've got Britty Kitty, Gracie's Corner, Miss Rachel, Rebecca Zamolo, and Recess Therapy. 100 pounds? Holy crap, congrats. Thank you. I used to be a hell of a lot heavier. And my hair was a lot shorter, a lot of things. Most of it's portion size over the food. Nope, it is. And I used to think the same thing. And you can, of course, control your weight that way. But if you're actually trying to eat healthily, it's entirely the food you eat and not the portion size. I eat like I'm about like 155 to 160 range typically now. Whenever I'm like at my leanest, I'm like 145, 148. And even at that, I can be eating 3-4 pounds of meat a day. I, on average, eat anywhere between 3 and 5 pounds of meat a day, and sometimes more. By me, like my lonesome, and I do that just by that. I lost over 150 pounds. Oh, nice. Well, you can definitely lose it portion size over food, but you are what you eat. Like the food you eat is truly of utmost importance, and it's not necessarily portion size. Because whenever I first tried to lose weight before I moved out to LA, I was living in Texas still, so I'd go eat like once a day, which is good. The intermittent fasting is great, and if you're OMADing, only one meal a day, that can help a lot too. But I was OMADing with burgers and patty melts and caniacs from Raising Cane's. It's the food you eat. It's also portion control. But first and foremost, primarily, it should always be the food you eat. That's just it. Literally, it goes down to the chemicals, and everything. The ingredients, they all matter. But we can get into that. That's a whole different thing. We can do that any day of the week. Kids and family, though. What, Aaron? You were saying Miss Rachel. I'm not familiar with any of these, even though I do have a 2-year-old niece, or an almost 2-year-old niece. I feel like I've heard of Birdie Kitty, but I haven't heard good things. Recess Therapy sounds cool, though. So I'm going to go with Aaron's suggestion and say Miss Rachel is going to win, but I would like Recess Therapy to win. I did end up changing what I ate at the end. Yeah. I still change what I eat. It depends on the damn week. Sometimes I'm better than other weeks, and sometimes I'm not good at all. And there are some weeks where I'm like super strict about everything, and I usually feel the best those weeks. But then I see some ice cream or something, and I'm bad about ice cream. Ice cream's the thing that gets me the most. The main reason I did carnivore diet, 2 reasons. Brief story real quick. When I first moved out here, the first thing that I was told was get fatter and funnier or lose weight, because I was just kind of like I was heavy, but not like super heavy. And then, I lost weight because that was the one that made more sense. It was like, oh, that, might keep me alive longer, When I told my friends, that's where I almost lost myself there. When I told my friends back in Texas that, okay, yeah, I moved out here. I was told to lose some weight, so I'm losing some weight. They were like, oh, God, you just moved to California and went vegetarian or vegan, didn't you? I'm not just from Texas. I'm from 20 minutes from Louisiana. Half of what we eat is crustacean. And it's shrimp, crab, crawfish. We don't have actual lobster. I was trying to think that I don't think we have many lobster where I'm from. But we got mud lobster, so we're good on that. So I was like, I'm going to do the exact opposite of vegetarian, vegan, and stuff. I'm going to do strictly carnivore. And I did. I searched it for a little bit, like 2 weeks. I ate as much as I possibly could and cleared out my pantry and closets and everything for those 2 weeks. And I got pretty big during those 2 weeks. And then I was like, okay, I've eaten my face full. Time to do the opposite. And I used carnivore as an elimination diet, which is kind of the main reason it was the one that I chose to do at the end of the day, was because if I strictly stuck within like a certain type of food or certain types of food, and then even like lower that down over time, there was a certain point where I was only eating red meat, ground beef. And that's when I started, that was like the very tail end of it, I guess. And that's when I started adding foods back in. course, meat first. So I was starting with like pork and chicken and stuff, and lamb and yada yada yada, fish. And you test how you feel while you're adding those things back into your diet. So, of course, right after I made sure all the meats were all good, because I was only eating ground beef for a certain amount of time, all the meats were fine. Felt fine whenever I ate meat. The next thing I added back was vanilla ice cream, which is not what I should have done. But it didn't make me feel bad. So I know I can do some vanilla ice cream without my gut feeling bad. And that's the most important thing. But also, I'm talking ingredients. So like if I make my own ice cream, that's one thing, but typically that's not something I should be eating, etc. Let's continue on though, because we can get into weight loss stories and things like that any day of the week. And those are good smoke stream things, I think those are really good for smoke streams. But anyway, learning and education. Big Weird World. I like the way that sounds. Colin and Samir and Tirzu. Tom Scott. Ooh. And Veritasium. Oh, I really like all these. I don't know Big Weird World, but I really like the sound of Big Weird World. I actually watched Tom Scott's video that came out today earlier, and Tom Scott's video from last week, and the one before that, and the one before that. Tirzu is like possibly one of my favorite YouTube channels there is. Tom and Veritasium. I think those are the ones that will most likely win. Tom. Okay, we'll go ahead and do that real quick. Tom Scott is the one that I think is by far most likely to win, especially because he just announced he's doing his last, I think, 7, now 8 episodes. I think he did an extra video this week from the last week video. So I think it will be 8, but technically 7 videos for indefinitely. He's still going to do like podcasts and little smaller things on his other channel. But the Tom Scott channel is slowing down for the first time in 10 years. And it's because it's the 10-year anniversary and he's been doing it a long time. So I don't blame him, let him take a little bit of a break, especially not a full break because, he's doing all of his other stuff. But I think that'll be good for him. And you don't want the people that are trying to educate you burn out. So I think Tom Scott will most likely win because of the quality of the work that he does. And also with a little added bonus of, this might be his last year for a little while. I think the one that should win is hands down, undoubtedly, 1,000% Tirzu. If you don't know Tirzu, after this video, watch our Solo, A Star Wars Story, Tick It or Skip It, coming out at, I think it's already out. I think it's out right now. It should be out whenever you're done. And then go over to Tirzu. He is very thorough. Tirzu or Tom Scott? Both are. Veritasium is very thorough as well. But I'm just such a big fan of Tirzu. I like the way I feel like older generations can understand what he's talking about. Millennials and whatever the hell the after millennial thing is, Gen Z, X, Y, whatever the hell it is. Tom's very thorough, yes. If you haven't seen the video from today, it was a grizzly bear that he was filming last week. He got extra footage of a GoPro as the grizzly bear was trying to get into the trash can where this one GoPro was at. So you see the grizzly bear tank through this trash can and then get interested in the GoPro, try to lick some honey and stuff off of it, and there's like, oh, I'll play with it, and then tosses it in the little river nearby, seemingly to never be seen again. But he got the footage back, and now they have the second video out, which was really cool, which was fun to watch today. But Tirzu is just it's a great way. It's combining old and young. It's combining nature and gaming. It's combining just the best of every world, I think. It's a really proper way of delving and diving into things that I think is good for gimmicks and stuff. Like we were talking about marketing earlier. He markets things so well that it's not truly marketing, but it is, And I think Tirzu just has excelled in that. I really like not just Tirzu's stuff on YouTube, but on Nebula, Curiosity Stream. If y'all don't have that kind of stuff, I'm a fan of Curiosity and Nebula. I just don't click it as much as YouTube. I would like Nebula and Curiosity to find a way to incorporate themselves into YouTube one day, but I'm not sure they ever will because they are like YouTubers going over there to do things. So yeah, we'll see. I'm a fan of both though. Tirzu has great content on both. It's not even content. His is more projects because he does projects out of these things. But yeah, Tirzu's great. Tom Scott's great. I like Colin and Samir a lot too, but those last three are the heavy hitters right there, big time. Anyway, Lifestyle, AMP, Bretman Rock, Charlie D'Amelio, Kara and Nate, or Sophie Richie Grange. The only one I'm familiar with is Charlie D'Amelio, or do I know Dixie D'Amelio? I don't know which one I know. I just know both their names because they're generally around my age, and everybody that has TikTok knows them. I don't have TikTok, but they're popular. So I would think that she'll win, and most likely to win is my guess there. Anyway, let's continue on with the things that we may know is news. Brian Tyler Cohen, gay news, Josh Helfgott, Hassan Abi, the Philip DeFranco show, and Task and Purpose. I think I know Philip DeFranco and I know Hassan Abi. But is Hassan Abi just talking or is he news? He talks about news. That's interesting. I would think Philip DeFranco show would win. But I kind of like Task and Purpose for news. That sounds like it's not like one-sided or anything like that. It's not trying to give you like an opinionated news source. Task and Purpose sound. I may be completely off the wall on that, but it sounds like it wouldn't be, right? Right? Kind of, maybe. Anyway, Science and Engineering. Ooh, that's a hard one. Alan Pan, Hacksmith Industries, I Did a Thing, Mark Rober, and Tech Choice. All of those are great. All of those are great. I think Mark Rober is the most likely to win, but Hacksmith Industries should undoubtedly be the people to win. And if you've ever seen a Hacksmith video, you know why. They literally have made not lightsabers, but proto sabers, which is like the early format version of lightsabers, and as close as we'll ever get. Not necessarily as we'll ever get, but as close as we can conceivably get at the moment. They've created real-life Wolverine claws. They've created real-life flying Iron Man type of things. Like, you think of it, name it, they've either considered it or they've already done it. They're excellent, and I really, really hope they continue. There was kind of a chance that they weren't going to, but I think they're doing better again. I hope they are. Hacksmith Industries, baby. That's some good stuff right there. But Mark Rober, Tech Choice are all right there as well. The other three, or I Did a Thing in Alan Pan, both really good. Both really, really good. Hacksmith and Mark Rober, I think, are a step ahead of everybody else right here. Tech Choice, not far behind. But Mark Rober and Hacksmith are definitely a step ahead. Mark Rober, I think, most likely to win. Hacksmith Industries, very close, likely to win. But I think they're the ones that most likely probably won't, but should, you know? Sports, see, it would like the comedy, the cooking, the science and engineering. You're like, oh, wow, this guy's doing more than just TVs and movies. He's got a wide array of interests. Yeah, I used to be okay with sports, and no mas. No mas. I don't know anything about it anymore. Destroying, Duke Dennis, Good Golf, Jesser, Olivia Dunn. Let me piss as many people off as possible right here, including my uncle, who I love you, Uncle John, but golf is not a frickin' sport. It is a very meticulous game. Very, very meticulous game. But it's not a sport, you know? Case closed. I'll call it that. Olivia smoking hot. I don't know Olivia Dunn, but now that I know that Olivia is smoking hot, is that what causes the brain pain? I'm kidding. Just Miss Dunn herself. I don't know if I know any of these guys. So Duke Dennis sounds cool. So I think he'll probably win. But Olivia Dunn, if our criteria has been met, She should win. There we go. But golf is a good walk ruined. Damn right. Like, I could play gymnastics. Gymnastics is a sport. Oh, that's what she does. Gymnastics. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Gymnastics is that's definitely a sport. Always a sport. It is a meticulous hobby as well, but it's a sport. Golf is just a good walk ruined. It's insanely meticulous, and you have to you don't have to, but you should train and you should do many things. It's just the physical aspect of it is gone within literally a swing. Where you could say the same thing for baseball, but then they still have to run around some bases and you steal bases. There's some other things going on. It's leveled. It's tiered. I like golf. I'm horrible, but I like it. I don't dislike golf. I just don't like that it's considered a sport. And it's not that I even care, but I just personally don't subscribe to it being a sport, But I don't have anything against it. I don't. It's not one that should be in the Olympics, even though one of the only people that's ever been to the Olympics from my hometown is Babe Saharius from I think the 1920s, and she went for golf. But anyway, let's dive into some technology, because I know a little bit more about that. I know not that much. I know people that like technology, and I try to keep up. It's the skill aspect that makes it a sport. Chess isn't a sport. Checkers isn't a sport. There are many things that require skill that are not sports, and I think golf squarely fits into that category. One swing and a walk. I think there are 2 or 3 swings, however many. Changing from a swing to a putt, that's not like it. My uncle's gonna be pissed. But my cousins will call me later and be like, "What the hell are you talking about?" But oopsie daisy. LTT and Supercar Blondie. Was that from the last bit, or is that just what Olivia Dunn does? Oh no, that's here. That's from technology. Hello. There are organized tournaments for checkers and chess. They're sports. Organized tournaments does not mean anything, Aaron. I see where you're coming from. I do. There are organized tournaments for all kinds of things, though. That does not mean they're sports. I think sports require sporting and physicality and things of the sort. Like literally, there's a reason fast walking is considered a sport more so than like golf and some of these things. We could debate this until the end of time, though. We'll continue. Technology, though. Linus Tech Tips, I Justine, Marquis Brownlee, Mr. Who's the Boss, and Supercar Blondie. Oh, okay. People say NASCAR isn't a sport. Oh, God, you're going to get me right back on this topic. There is 100% of physicality aspect to it. You have to be in shape enough to actually drive those vehicles and do it. Racing, period, is a sport. Yes, I definitely think NASCAR is a sport and racing, period, is a sport. Yes. But does racing, like simulated racing, count as an e-sport, or is that part of racing? Show me a fat NASCAR driver. Exactly. You can find fat golfers. I'm just saying. I agree 100%. Hell yeah. Okay. I think the because there are people that consider simulated driving sport, at least at the same time. I'm like, come on, no. Riding your bike, yes. Simulated driving, no. It's a meticulous game that requires skill and a honed-in craft, yes. but it's not a sport because there's a physicality that's just inherently missing to it. And I think that's where golf gets me as well, is that physicality is not there. Where whenever you're in a vehicle, I may have wrecked a couple vehicles in my life. I'm a good driver because I've been a bad driver. I've driven a lot too. That probably helps. Depends on traffic. Driving to work a sport depends on. It can be. I like to make it one. What was I about to say? I don't know why I used a question mark. It worked. What? I was about to go on a whole rant. That's probably a good thing I stopped myself, or my brain stopped itself by forgetting. But, yeah, I think it needs. It's fun to slalom. Slaloming is a sport. That's for damn sure. Are you talking about water skiing slalom? My dad can slalom like nobody's business. I have not. I can do it on like wide skis. On a thin slalom, put a bag of clubs over your shoulder and walk 18 holes. If people did that, that's still though. That's not a physicality that's involved with the sport. That's literally just a traffic slalom. Interesting. Walking 18 holes, 9 holes, either or with a bag over your shoulder is exercise. That's not a sport. That's exercise. If they're hiking, that's a sport. It's a technicality, sure. But I don't think the technicality should make it a sport, you know? I still respect it. I'm not good at it. I respect it. It's just it just ain't a sport, you know? Yeah. Sorry, I got a phone call. I had to swipe away real fast. But back to the thing at hand. Technology, Justine. Is she technology? I thought she was more just like variety or whatever. I haven't listened to her in years. What was it? I'm thinking of like my childhood now. Sean Klitzner, Justine, a little Tobuscus, Toby Turner, people like that. Oh, YouTube back in the day. Fun times. But truly though, Linus Tech Tips and Marquis Brownlee would be the ones that would come off to me as the best choices here. Was it who had an opinion earlier? Oh, John did. LTT and Supercar, Linus Tech Tips and Supercar Blondie. Yeah, I would think Linus Tech Tips is the most likely to win. I'd probably like Marquis Brownlee, but hey, Supercar Blondie sounds pretty cool too, honestly. Yeah, craft awards though. Hey, this is where we get into like craft and brand awards, and then we're done. Hey, not too shabby. We've kind of just fucked around at the end here and just had a little fun, but that's always a good time. Cole Walliser, Lyrical Lemonade, Reciter, and Will Freearc. I'm not familiar with Will Freearc or Ashley Zoo. I've heard of Lyrical Lemonade. I think I've heard of Reciter. I think I'm familiar. I am familiar with Cole Walliser. He's the guy that does whenever there's a big red carpet for something. He's got what the hell is it called? I don't remember exactly what it is. But it's an arm, a crane with a camera on it. And, like Michelle Yeoh or someone's going to be standing right here looking pretty and beautiful in her dress. And he's like, do a spin for me or flip your hair or something like that or something, anything with like a guy popping up like John Cena, Jared Leto, anybody that he's like, give me a or something, and they'll do that. And then this thing zooms in and moves at the same time. Is it just a boom? It's just a boom, but it's a boom with the camera that it's a boom and a zoom with the camera on it, and it does a super close up zoom. It can be mid close up, I believe, but it starts wide, goes close, and it's slow motions it at the same time. So whatever kind of like little move they do looks like really cool. And I really like, that's probably one of my favorite things about all these red carpet things that are still going on. It's honestly, there's so many freaking interviews that the red carpet interviews I can do without. The red carpet cool little gimmicks, that's the cool stuff. That's when you actually keep my interest, Hollywood. But yeah. Oh, I was supposed to say who. Cole Wallisler deserves it, and I think he's going to win it. I just am not familiar with anybody else. Sorry. Editing, Cooking with Linja, Jet Lag, The Game, Kelly Wakasa, Savannah Moss, and Yes Theory. I think I'm familiar with these two. Yes Theory. What the hell is Yes Theory? I know Yes Theory. I know what Yes Theory is. I got to type this in real fast. Oh, yes Theory. I know them. They're great. I know where I'm going now. Because the only other show I'm familiar with out of all these is Cooking with Linja. I feel like I know of Savannah Moss, but I just, the name sounds familiar. Kelly Wakasa sounds like a cool name though. The one that I think should win and is going to win is Yes Theory, and that's partially because they're just such a huge channel. And they do those. I have no clue. Is that like the boom stuff or something you're talking about? Yeah, I was just trying to explain all that. But it is really cool. Cole Walliser, just look him up after this. His Instagram's got a bunch of really good stuff. But Yes Theory, I think should win this category when editing wholeheartedly, because the amount of things they do is insanity, and they still make it entertaining, still make it fun and informative, and that's great. You know, that's what you need. That's what you need. Visual and special effects, though, we've got Buttered Side Down, Corridor Crew, Justin Yee, So Crispy Media, and Zach King. I'm not familiar with. I think I actually have heard of Zach King, and I've heard of So Crispy. I don't know if I know Justin Yee and Buttered Side Down. Corridor Crew is going to win it, hands down. Undoubtedly, Corridor Crew will win that. I'll bet money on that right now, and they should win it. Who any of these people are? Oh, I know. Now I'm with you. Yeah, the only one I was familiar with was Cole Walliser. Corridor Crew, if you're not familiar with them, they're a channel that you should familiarize yourself with. They're amazing, and they're just a really good insight in this industry and like the post-production aspect of it, especially. But you get to kind of see them and their own projects happen, the behind the scenes of it all, the making of, et cetera, and I think it's just a really good way of like both content making and filmmaking shown in a very fun, simplified way of doing it. And they're a really good group of people. I'm surprised how great that set of employees all works together. It's amazing. Their entire studio, I could name almost their entire studio, which is insane. I've worked like across the street and down the way from it a little bit as well during, I think, a couple different sets that I've been on. I've been near it. But anyway, writing, Caleb City, Dami Lee, Josh Zilberg. No, I knew that didn't sound right. Josh Zilberberg. That's kind of fun to say. Leo Gonzalez and Petey. Yep, that's me this time. I have no clue who any of those people are. Really? But for writing, though, I would think Hello Future Me should be on there. Hello Future Me should and would get that award if he were on it. Or nominated for it, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Josh Zilberberg. I like his name. I want Josh Zilberberg to win. That's my stipulation there. Anyway, now we're at Brand Awards, our final section. Damn, y'all. We've made it. We've made this like last 30, 40 minutes has literally been this article, which has been kind of funny. It's a lot. But we're almost there. We're almost there. Let me top it off with some coconut water. I just need this channel to get like monetized, and then I'm gonna go approach C2O and be like, I've said coconut water so many times, sponsor me. You won't get many more buys or anything probably, but please, I'll ask nicely. It'll maybe work, right? That's how things like that work. I could be like, oh, I just got off a movie set and and be like, I won't tell. Well, actually, I can't say that right now because they will know it's going to be an independent set, so it could be very small. Never mind. I was trying to work the system. The system still works me. Damn. All right, we continue. Brand Awards, Agency of the Year, Bin Labs, Content Plus, Cavell, Reach Agency, or Whalar. You know, I don't think I'm going to really know many of these. I forget that. Well, okay. I was thinking these are brands that are the agents for streamers, which is interesting, I guess, because when I think of agents, I think theatrical agents, commercial agents for acting, writing agents, directing agents, producing, et cetera, et cetera. I forget you can get agents for streaming, which is like, I don't know. If you're at that level, why the hell do you need an agent? Just get a freaking secretary, is my thought. Just to schedule things for you. That's what the agent would be doing anyway. Anyway, I don't know how to feel about these. I feel like I've heard of this one, and I feel like I've heard of Reach Agency, but I feel like Reach Agency isn't. I think I've heard bad things about them. I don't think I've heard anything good about them. Just for the sake of skipping over a category, we will skip over this one. But brand engagement, this one, okay, this is much easier. Dumb Ways to Die, Playside Studios, Feastables, Mr. Beast, No Drone, No Problem, Insta360, Subs for Subs, Jersey Mike's, and TSM, I don't know. Sweet Tarts Film Fest on TikTok, Sweet Tarts and Content Plus. Oh, Sweet Tarts. I haven't seen anything about that. I love me some Sweet Tarts, though. Can't eat them anymore, though. I wish I could. Out of those, I'm thinking those 2, 3, 4, but mostly those 2, I think, are the most liable candidates there. I would say Dumb Ways to Die should win, but Feastables will win. Yeah? Yeah. But brand of the year, oh shit. Barbie, Mattel, surprise. Chipotle, Mexican Grill, Insta360, Old Spice, Procter & Gamble, Prime Video, Amazon. I don't know why Old Spice or Insta360 are there. I really don't know why Chipotle is there. It's going to be Barbie or Prime Video. If Prime Video, of course, if they ended up announcing Stargate after like a strike's over later this year or anything of the sort. See, we always get one Stargate. There's got to be a little Stargate somewhere. We managed it. If Amazon Prime gets, or Prime Video, gets a Stargate announcement, gets some cool updates on Warhammer 40K, gets cool updates on God of War, we get a really cool Fallout show. If I think those 3 or 4, I don't think I was even counting right, which threw me off a little bit. But I think if we get those 3 or 4 things kind of put together, then it may be the brand of the year. But Barbie's got that thing in the bag at the moment, especially after what we just saw this past weekend. Barbie's got it in the bag, and Barbie is making a bag. No, Barbie's making bags after bags. Mattel's happy. And honestly, I was surprised that Mattel let them make fun of Mattel as much as they did. Very appreciative that they did, because I think it did make the movie better. But I was still surprised. Mattel with Barbie, though, I think is the most likely to win. But I want Prime Video to come back. I want you to do well, Prime. Also, hire me for a new Stargate show. What was that? Was that an echo? Huh? No, I'm kidding. Branded series, though. Let's keep moving on. A Style is Born. Wayfair and Maiden Network. Live at 4:25. Totino's Pizza Roll and the Cheeky Boyos Flight House Content Plus. Plot Pitch. Prime Video. Real People, Real Stories. AARP. Who Wore It Best? Netflix and Harry Jowsey. I mean, I'm familiar with all these different companies, but like, I don't know. Plot Pitch sounded cool, and I'm on the Prime Video thing now, so I'm going for Prime. I hope and think Prime will win. Actually, I think this one's gonna win just because it sounds really cool. But yeah. So branded video. I was like, oh no, that's not another category, is it? There we are. Branded video. ASM car. Oh, Nissan and Donut. I don't know that video, but I like the idea of it. Give Odor the Bird. Old Spice and Cypher PK and United Esports. Esports and Old Spice. Yeah, they kind of go together. They kind of don't go together. But anyway, My Poor Friend, Photoshop Express, and BV Key. BV Key. That's fun to say. Wait for it. Hashtag corn. Chipotle Mexican grill. When you meet her dad and Old Spice saves the day. Old Spice and Adam W. See, I like all the Old Spice stuff, but it's just treading territory that's always been treaded. I don't know what this one is, but I think it should win, and I hope it wins because ASMR by ASM Car. I like playing into the puns. It makes me happy. Happy. So yeah, we'll go that one. We'll go that one. I think these are our final two, though. Influencer campaign. Heinz Master, Heinz and Whalar. Blasting to the Top, Joe Blaster and Bin Labs. Chainsaw Man viewing party. Chainsaw Man and Crunchyroll. DiGiorno made us do it. DiGiorno and Reach Agency. Nebula. Standard. I feel like everything was like slightly descriptive, and then this one's not descriptive at all. Blasting the Top. I want Blasting the Top to win. Joe Blasters are fun. They're a little too much fun. Just kidding. They're the right amount of fun. I love those things. So that's the one I think should win. But I really like the fact that an influencer campaign nominee is just like a viewing party for something. I like that a lot, actually. I think that has a good chance. But I would want the Joe Blaster to win. Yeah, that sounds about right. Social Impact campaign, though. Barbie, You Can Be Anything series. Barbie and Mirrored Media. Loot for Good, Call of Duty Endowment and Activision. Play by the Rules, International Committee of the Red Cross and Pop Shorts. Real Recipes for Real Change. Chipotle Mexican Grill, The FarmLink Project, and Nick DiGiovanni. And then the Retalk Shop, Nature Valley, and Content Plus. I would say the one most likely to win would be Barbie, You Can Be Anything. I almost, just because I like food and we kind of got on the food topic, I almost would say I would want this one to win. But I'm going to say I want Loot for Good to win. Because it sounds cool. And because one of my friends that I grew up with that moved out here in the last, I think, year and a half, 2 years, works for Activision over at Activision and Blizzard. That's the one. I was like, I know they got bought out. Blizzard and then now Microsoft. So I guess technically he's about to start working with Microsoft. So yeah. That's the one I'll go for my buddy Adam. That's what I'm thinking. But that's kind of it, y'all. That's kind of it. Do y'all have any personal thoughts from all that? We just went through 45 minutes of that. And it was fun. It was fun. It was a lot, but it was fun. I don't know. if I'm even going to look up half these people. But there are some things that I'm now intrigued about. This said, just for the sake of making sure we've covered all our bases here, the Matt Pack, creator of the Game Theorist, will host the August 27th ceremony. Okay. So August 27th. I should be back in town. We could do like a Patreon watch along, because I don't think we could do a watch along here or we're gonna get taken down. And I don't know how to. Oh, actually, that just made me think about this. I don't think I can use. Tell me if you hear these. Okay, y'all ready? Tell me if you hear this. Can y'all hear that? Or does it just look like I'm staring at my screen right now? Yeah. Anybody? Oh, y'all can't hear it? Hell yes. Okay. Because I have a Stream Deck. Yeah, that's what it's called. I can just look at the thing that's right below me. I have a Stream Deck. And I have it programmed for some things. I need it programmed to do more things. But I do really enjoy this thing. And I can start using it. That means if you can hear it from here, you should be able to hear it from Sidetrack. So if Jamie or Matt's not watching right now, they're going to be in for a loop sometime down the road. I have to remember to actually do it. But because you can do that in the stream, I can so mess around with them, and they'll have no idea what's going on. I just thought that was a funny idea, and I saw that down there. So, booyah. Where sound effects? Can I not do? Okay. Now you got to let me know if you see this guy pop up on the screen. Oh, it's not letting me do it. Oh, damn it. Okay, I can't put visuals on the screen. I forgot how much I had this set up. I got this set up for like 5 microphones, the whole thing, like a round table, something. Which we tried to do for a little bit. We needed more cameras. These things happen. But yeah, I got my sound effects. I've got a little, a little bit of all of it. A nice sequenced version. I guess it's not fully sequenced. There I go. Okay. Yeah. I mean, those are literally just what I downloaded to play with it. Or I had someone download for me because, like y'all know, I am not technologically savvy. And that would have taken me 3 years to figure out. Probably take me another 3 years to implement. But we do as we do. We get along as we go along. Go along as we get along. All the above, But yeah, I think on a Sidetrack stream, I just, maybe there's like just a moment of downtime where nobody knows exactly what to say next, and then I'll just press a little button and just throw everybody off. It'll be fun. I'm mischievous. I'm thinking. Hopefully they don't. If Jamie or Matt does watch one of these, hopefully they don't make it all the way to the end, because then they'll know the plan. But if not, this Sunday we're gonna be cracking up, y'all. It's gonna be funny, and I'm gonna be in a very mischievous mood because immediately after this Sunday on Sidetrack, which is 6 days from now, so looking forward to it. I'm going straight to Vegas after that stream. I'm hopping in a car and we're driving, and I'm pumped. So it'll be a time for some debauchery, as they say. But yeah, y'all, that's all I got today. We have been here for almost 2.5 hours here. 2 hours, 24, almost 25 minutes. Whew. Thank y'all for doing it. Thank y'all for being here. I really appreciate it. I should start saying this way earlier in the stream. I always forget. The goal is to get to 500 subscribers soon so we can get monetized. I'd like to get 50 likes on these videos fairly consistently. We're usually between 8, 12, 15, somewhere around there. But it'd be nice to get up to 50, get more people, get more eyes on these things. And then like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. We got Woodra affiliate link down in the bottom. We got Patreon link down in the bottom of that description. Thank you. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it. Y'all keep my crazy self entertained. I hope my crazy self keeps you entertained. And I will see you tomorrow. Check out Ticket or Skip It on Solo, I believe, is out today. We're getting Andor out tomorrow. Rogue One, I believe we're getting edited at the moment, or about to be edited, and that should be out on Thursday. And I think we're going to do a Barbie Ticket or Skip It this week, and I kind of want to do that. Oh, no. Oh, no. We can do Barbie on Thursday. Today's Monday. I was thinking Tuesday for some reason. Today, Solo, a Star Wars story, Ticket or Skip It. Tomorrow, Andor, Ticket or Skip It. Wednesday, Rogue One, Ticket or Skip It. Thursday, Barbie, Ticket or Skip It. I think that's the way we're going to do it. That's the goal as of now. Barbie may be on Friday, but we're shooting for a Thursday. And yeah, that's the plan. You are awesome, John and Laura and Brain Pain and Aaron and everybody else here. David, if you're here somewhere. I appreciate y'all so much. Yeah, keep an eye out. And I'll be back to appreciate y'all more tomorrow. Because there's more to talk about. And we're going to dive into the Barbenheimer stuff. We didn't talk much Barbie or Oppenheimer today. Oh, no. I was debating if I should go try to catch Oppenheimer again today. I don't think I can today, but I will Wednesday or Thursday this week. I'll try. Because I want to see it in 70 millimeter or 150 millimeter IMAX. As long as I can see that thing in IMAX, I'm going to be a happy camper. But anyway, once again, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for sticking so far into this thing with me, and I will see you on the morrow. Let me play this little intro that I'm using as an outro. And don't forget, come back to MCubed for more movie loving.